commemorating the 100th anniversary of the return of King Prempeh I from Seychelles. In 1900, our proud king, our brave queen, was exiled to Seychelles by the British. He stayed in Seychelles for 24 years. Yesterday, stories were told, presentations were made, sketches were made, leading to events leading to his exile.
Hello there, you are welcome to my channel, and do not forget to share, like and subscribe to this video. So yesterday, as earlier indicated, the Asante King of the Ashanti Kingdom organized a mini Deba to remember the 100 years of the return of one of their king, Nana Prempeh I, who happens to be the 13th king of the Ashanti Kingdoms, who returned from exile in Seychelles. And so a mini Deba was organized in his honor, and it was attended by many dignitaries, some from Seychelles, especially the Seychelles president was there, and then the Prime Minister of Eswatini was also present. And you know, in an occasion like this, it is time for us to learn about some of our history, what occasions such moments, such events. These are reenactment of history, and so it is important that we take this opportunity to learn about Nana Prempeh I, and therefore the footages you are seeing were some of the events that took place. However, in this video I am going to share with you the various reasons why Nana Prempeh I, the 13th king of the Ashanti Kingdom, was exiled to Seychelles Island in 1896. And then what happened next. I'll do it in two parts. The first part will be English, and then when I'm ending it, I'll try and summarize it in Twi for everyone to also understand. So now let's begin. Who is Nana Prempeh I? Now, Nana Prempeh I was the 13th king of the Ashanti Kingdom. The current king, Nana Osei-Tutu II, is the 16th king of the golden stool of the Ashanti Kingdom. So Nana Prempeh I happens to be the 13th king of the Ashanti Kingdom, and he started ruling from 1888 to 1931 when he finally died. But his reign was not all that peaceful. He was one of the Ashanti kings who suffered really in the hands of the British. Now, in the year 1897, Nana Prempeh I, together with some Ashanti chiefs and queen mothers, were exiled to Seychelles, and these people never returned until 1924, which is almost more than 25 years. So the people of Ashanti, or these Ashanti royals, spent almost more than 24 years in the Seychelles Island. Now, somebody will ask, why did the British decide to exile Nana Prempeh I? To be able to understand this whole issue properly, you need to know that at this period, between the 1888 thereabout to 1900, the Berlin Conference had been organized in Berlin, whereby Africa was shared among the European powers. And in one of the agreements under the Berlin Conference was that all European powers were supposed to establish a form of government in any of the territories in which they claim to own. And therefore, at all costs, when a group of Africans or people decides to resist against you taking their land, you were supposed to force them to accept your authority. And that is what Nana Prempeh faced. And it was very, very difficult for him. Let's take a look at the reasons why Nana Prempeh was exiled to Seychelles. In the first place, Nana Prempeh was charged with a breach of the Former Treaty. He had started conquering the former vassal state whose independence had been granted. by the Treaty of Fomena in 1874. So in 1874, one of the devastating wars between the Ashanti and the British also took place, known as the Sagaranti War. In that war, the whole of Menchia Palace was burnt down. A lot of items, artifacts were being looted away. Now, after the war, there was a treaty signed between the British and Ashanti. And in that treaty, one of them was that Ashantis were supposed to grant independence to their vassal states, such as the Intra, of Wasa, Awowin and Co. And so by the time Nana Prempeh came onto the throne around 1888, the empire had collapsed and it was very fragile. So he tried to bring back those former vassal states, and that was a threat to the British. Okay, again, Prempeh also sent a delegation to the British in July 1890, and he was asking for aid to reset his sovereignty over the Asante states that had broken away. He also demanded that all Asante refugees in the British Crown must be brought back to the colony for punishment. Well, somebody may ask, why was he doing all this? Is it that he was not informed about the treaty? Well, that's some other topic for another day. Again, Nana Prempeh also rejected the British demand for protection. When a British officer was sent to Kumasi in March 1891 to invite Asante to allow his kingdom to be placed under the British protection, Nana Prempeh replied, "My kingdom of Asante will never commit itself to any such policy," which then means that Nana Prempeh was not willing to allow the Ashanti to come under the British protectorate, or the British to take over the Ashanti land. So he rejected that. Also in March 1894, Nana Prempeh also rejected the request made by the British to settle a resident in Kumasi. Of course, Prempeh felt that it would lead to the establishment of a British rule again over the empire that he was trying to rebuild, and therefore he again did not allow that to happen. And so, in view of that, the British officers marched down to Kumasi somewhere in 1896, and in an open deba, they demanded that Nana Prempeh should accept the British protection. And some historians says that at that time, Nana Prempeh didn't want to fight. Ashanti had already suffered a lot in the hands of these British, and particularly the Sagaranti War had disintegrated the empire. And so Nana Prempeh chose peace over war, even though some historians claim that he could have organized war and the British would again fight with the Ashanti, but he chose peace. And so he did not initiate any war. And so because of that, and he was not willing to also put Ashanti under the British protection, then as a result of these actions, Nana Prempeh I arrested and exiled by the British to Seychelles Island. He was first taken to Elmina Castle. Then in 1897, he was then taken to Freetown in Sierra Leone. Then he finally left to the Seychelles Island, where he arrived on 11th September 1900. Now, Nana Prempeh was not alone. He was, together with him, the British also exiled 14 chiefs, 13 women, 13 children, and 12 attendants. Some years later, in 1901, another group also consisting of Ya Asantewaa, Queen Mother of the Ejiso, and then other 15 chiefs, 2 women, and 4 attendants who were captured from the Ya Asantewaa War of 1900 were also added to the to Nana Prempeh and the other states. So you can imagine there were almost 100 Ashanti refugees living in Seychelles. And yesterday, for instance, it was said that on the streets of Seychelles, you come across Ashanti names like Kofi, Asantewaa, and Co. And that explained the reason why the president of the Seychelles was here in the Ashanti Kingdom, and as well as the friend of the current king, the king of Eswatini, who also sent a representative in the person of the Prime Minister of Eswatini to do that. And so basically, that is what Ashantis did to honor the return of their king. Nti ne tietia ene ne tintin nyina ne se eye afi be 1897 mu ho no abrofo no ebefa eye Asanteman king, the 13th king of the Asante kingdom, eye Nana Prempeh. Abrofo no ebechi no de ne ko oman bi a your friend is Seychelles. The Seychelles no eye island ewo Indian Ocean mu ho baby. Na adekodie nti a omo ebefa no koye no ewo mbebre, but the hia pa ne se adekodie ma abrofo no fa Nana Prempeh koye ne se eye 1888 1885 mu ho baby no abrofo no ekohyiae eche ebiman efaaye nti no abrofo man bia efa ebiman asase baby nti Ashantifo asase no na abrofo no person mede omofa na omudi so nanso eye Nana Prempeh ehu se da bi so omano ho kwan a abrofo no be de ebefa asase no edisu nti oye so onye de ompene nti abrofo no eye ya so obanye de wampene ena afi abrofo no se the best thing adia ese omoye a ebema Asante abehye omase ene se omo ebefa eye Nana Prempeh efree Ashanti memu omde no ko eye Seychelles enti no omo fa no de no ko Seychelles enyo no kwa no omo fa no fa ne mame ene ahemfo bebre be 14 ahemfo 14 emans 13 ena ne nkwanso be 12 eye ne fie be mienu miensa echi no so 1901 mu hono so ya Asantoa na ahemfo be 15 na emami na nkwa be 4 nso so eko kan na ayi Nana Prempeh ho na chese ohwa Seychelles oman no Ashantifo ewumpai nti enudwa no na chese Ashantifo shefa de kai emra yedi Nana Prempeh ebai. It is also important to note that Nana Prempeh did not return from the Seychelles island until 1924, which is almost more than 25 years of being there. So Asantes had a lot of them had given birth over there. So some, when he was coming, some Ashantis decided to come, some also decided to stay. Those who were born there decided to come, some also decided to stay. So this is a very brief history, and this is why the Ashanti did that Deba yesterday. I hope we have been enlightened and you love the content. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe to this channel. You can also share whatever you have, about the Exile of Prempeh in the comment section for us, because Ashanti history is broad and one person cannot share it alone. Have a nice day. Do not forget to share, like, and comment.
The true son of Asanteman, true son of Ghana, a distinguished personality, the former Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, who still have the capacity to arrest anybody who will give us any loud gunshots. Excellency is not the great mother of Exile. Now the great granddaughter is now the queen mother of the legendary Yasantoa area called Exile. The legendary Yasantoa John Ajakum Kufuor is still here. And he has the capacity to still do